What's going on, YouTubes? Time for a recap. Let's get into it. On the X, where we usually like to start, the Powell dump. Oh my goodness. We've been talking about this for over a year on this channel. We said once the rate cuts hit, it is going to come down. And he tried to be dovish and move to hawkish. And they signaled inflation might be sticky. But nevertheless, we knew this day was coming. We talked about it a long time ago on this channel. When the rate cuts hit, it comes down. They do not cut rates for you. They do not do it for a favor. They do it because they messed up the market. They have sticky inflation. They're going to cut and it's going to tank the market. Oh, what do we do? So on the X, I said, here's where the NQ is going, guys. Shorted after there. I gave you guys a price target of 21,309, and we called hundreds of points to the downside before it happened here on X. This is our specialty here at Boiler Room Trading, finding algorithm pockets where stuff needs to backtest. They need to retrace eventually, okay? I actually posted these targets pre-CPI a while back, and this is where these targets still were, 21,309. I wanted to get those at the CPI. If you look real close here, that CPI candle low shied that red algorithm section right here between 21,340, 21,309. We've been talking about this section for weeks and weeks here on the YouTubes as well, but we needed a catalyst to get back down to it. And we found it. That was the Powell trade. Calling some heavy hitters here on the bounce this morning. Infinite points up, infinite points down. We couldn't really miss a single trade today. Called it on our premium Discord, and we had some good fun. A couple P&Ls there on the top step on the bigs, laughing at the win rate on top step since all these are linked accounts and I didn't miss any trades, but apparently I'm only 27% accurate on one of the trades. So how did I know the box was going to be right here? So on the NQ coming in, we had this beautiful waterfall, and this waterfall persisted all day into my algo target, and it's right here. And again, sorry guys, I said 21,309. It only made it to 21,311. I know, I'll stop the channel. 2 points miss. You know, good thing we didn't call the other half of the 22K break. You know, right around here, 590 some points. I'll get them next time, boys. I'll get all 598 next time instead of 596. All right. So as we have a standard elite system here, once a candle aggressive like this is closed the next day, I don't care if it's SPY, Qs, or futures, you look for yesterday's close. So on this daily chart right here, we have a, there we go. We have the momentum from yesterday's close. So here's that close of the candle. Candle close pretty close to that wick side, but if anything opens up and holds yesterday's close, we have a chance to come back up to test the golden pocket. So we take the body of this candle, made a Fibonacci high-low. We created this golden pocket of price action for potential back tracing and coming back. Now that's for NQ. What we traded today was ES, which is the same jam, okay? And same exact play protocol happens here, which we go into. Lost my whole other chart. All right. We go into the same thing where we take that Fibonacci and we draw the body out and we go for the golden pocket long. So we were on ES today, the better market to trade. And anything, again, over yesterday's close was long to potentially the golden pocket, right? Now, in the grand scheme of things, when you see a daily candle like this, generally speaking, when the body is very large, continuation is very probable. And this was supposed to be that downsided week anyway, pre-Santa rally. Now, we did pretty good here as we got very close to that golden pocket call. So right here is yesterday's close on that white dashed line right here. Obviously, the 100 fib is going to be there from what we just drew. So as this kind of came up for breakout, held yesterday's close, pushed into that 100 EMA, ran a bit more, ran a bit more. Now, in scenarios like this, I like to fib out multiple things, okay? So I'll keep the daily chart on, but then I'll start making intraday fibs as well. Generally speaking, I'll use a 15-minute, depending on what the open looks like for this trade specifically. On NQ I did, and a couple others. So with a couple of these candles that have no tags, right? I look for the last kind of 15 dump here. This one did have a tag, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to high-low this 15-minute. Like so, move that to the right. And then again here, this little piece of the pie helped out with that retrace as well. So we do have some overlapping fibs with daily. It gets a little messy here, but take this into consideration. Yesterday's close hold, right? And we're going to utilize, let's just make these a different color so you can see these a little cleaner. We'll make them neon pink so you can see them. The 15-minute, we'll even make them a little thicker. There we go. So the daily holds yesterday's close on that big dump candle, starts to press back up, moves into the golden pocket, right? And then we always talk about that 100 EMA in the green being one of our huge over-under points, and that worked out very well. So this 15-minute I picked for a high-low because we didn't have a full sequence fill, so the price action did not come from that low of the 15 and engulf that action. It did to this candle, it did to this candle, but not this big guy right here. So holding yesterday's close, moving into the golden pocket of this dude right here, I know there's a little wick right there, but the golden pocket is not completed. So if you zoom in real close there, hopefully my big head's not in the way, you can see that golden pocket left a little bit open, and I do like when that happens. 5,990 or so, just about 6,000. Obviously, 6,000 is a great psychological half whole dollar that we had mentioned as well in the Discord, and heading back up. Long story short, we made it to the 6K, the 100 EMA, and the reversal. So we had a really good long setup here. Now, let's talk about the couple trades that we took because of the algo and SPY along with this, because we had a bunch of back and forth that netted us a lot of great scalps there for that P&L. So this cover... we'll cover this right now for this algorithm. All right. Let's go to the 5-minute because we do the 5-minute high-low on these algos in pre-market. Perfecto. And let's go over the trade day. So we fibbed the algo, high-low, right? Price action is up here, which means our over-under is going to be developed off the top of the algo, okay? So it either is going to hold above there. We get confirmation to start leading up, going for that golden pocket we wanted so bad on SPY, 593 and 8 cents. We missed it. We shied it. No big deal. We see shies a lot of the time. We started breaking down right here. This was my first short trade, okay? So we developed this algo, and we never got a golden pocket tag during pre-market. So obviously pre-market's over here in the gray box, right? We got this no tag, which means price action did not come inside the algo in pre-market and hit the golden pocket we needed to hit. It shot up, went outside the pocket. So once it failed the top of that algo, we had a chance to do what? Obviously come into the golden pocket like it did. So we shorted here all the way down, and then we longed it, and we shorted it again. So we use the over-under like we do a lot here, but this golden pocket is a very important one. So the initial breakdown shorted all the way to golden pocket hit. Golden pocket hits, bounces 17 points, comes down, hits the lower golden pocket, bounces again. So we were playing the in-between range here quite a bit. And then when I got off stream, it was about 10 a.m. We got a winter storm here. I had to pick up the kiddos a little early, so had to jump off. 10 a.m. is the usual, but a couple minutes early. Now, this was an interesting one because right when I got off stream, right at 10 for my premium group, I said two things are going to happen here. We're most likely going to get a late day short, and I was focusing on NQ for that late day short, not ES. And regardless, we were going to talk about getting all the way back up to that 50 SMA daily, okay? On SPY, that's coming up quick here. I don't think I have my moving averages set for it right now. I do not. That's okay. We'll cover that in a sec on the next video because it's not as important. But the 50 SMA daily was also right here at the fib levels. Now, we had a big mess of levels right here, and the 50 is just one of the mix. And we like to stack catalysts, which means we'll use that 50, that weekly, that 100 fib. We'll use everything we can. So regardless, so it came down to the golden pocket, found support here. After that support was hit, we had a chance to go usually back to the top of it, right, of the algo, and then fail again. So that's what I told my crew to look for, a late day short. Now, we're not done yet, and my target persisted of the bottom of the algo. And I told everybody when we're under the algo, or I'm sorry, golden pocket of the algo, right, when we're under the GP, short it all the way down to the lower. We predicted this play on QQQ before I left, and we needed to just stay under the golden pocket in QQQ, and I said it was going to fail down to the lower. Now, this was the trade call we made for the day. We did not play it on ES. We played it on QQQ. This was the call. So QQQ algo, same exact trade plan. Fails, right? So you see this is a little different looking than SPY. QQQ did not break out of its algorithm. We had divergence at the QQQ showing weakness, not being able to get out of that little algo top, right? Filled right here, okay? So that was the key takeaway. If you zoom in really close, and I mean really close, notice that it did not fill up the algorithm. That algo fill is 5.16 and 8 cents. That means that the computers, the algorithms, will drag this back down and generally fill these algos, right, to the bottom side, because the top side fill is done, which means this algo's creation, price action has came in, hit the VWAP up, and we got the top side right there. That's the top of the algo. We then went to the bottom side. But when we broke all the way down towards the bottom and shied it by a couple pennies right here, I said, guys, just wait till we retrace and then short under the golden pocket. That was a trade call. Here's your golden pocket, 38.20 to the 61.8 GP. And I said, short that frickin' retrace. So it comes up, hits the golden pocket, fails. Okay, well, we're talking about that later on for even lower. So it did click in, it did get the short under it, but it did give you a retrace, double top, and then melted back down to, again, the pre-market open, which is another level that we always love to hit as well. Now, the day's not over. We still have a little bit of downside left. And in all similarities between the two, finally, we are moving together and tracking them together. So QQQ and SPY should move lower together into the Friday, into the end of the week. Now, where does that go, right? Where's the next target, Brandon? Give us some sauce. Well, this is it. We're going to get rid of all this stuff, and I'll show you exactly how we get the predictions here. Now, today, we're going to equal lows this up, and most likely, we're going to wait till today closes. We're not going to get too much else here, but we're going to grab the giant candle body here from the Powell. We're going to point that to the downside, okay? And then we're going to look to our left and see what other outstanding instances can stop us from dropping us, right? If I scooch over, you're going to notice, obviously, this big old daily gap, right? And I'm not sure if we're going to get there quite yet. Santa Rally is still on. I don't know if this gets bought back up, but I can tell you one thing. If we drop lower and start the panic, right, the continuation play, we're going to come down here near low 510, okay? And then if we do break that and get a monster continuation candle, we're talking 1618, which is 504.86. So you take the body of the Powell, dropper to the downside, 1618 for the end of the week here. Now, that would be about the furthest I see it. Now, for the long term, if you've been around on this channel for a long period of time, you know I've been looking for the pullback to the 100 EMA on the SPY for quite some time. So the Qs has more room to go to the downside. I think it's a little easier in SPY. We've seen obvious divergence in that metric for quite some time. And now, let's give us the SPY predictions. The same exact thing. Now, SPY, unlike Qs has a very unique triple gap. And SPY has a double here. So if we're looking right here, this one was filled, so it's not a triple anymore. But we had this gap right here. It created one big one, two, then went up here, 1, 2, and then we filled that triple gap right here. And we called this play. We had a really good trade day right here at 11:21, calling that short. Now, because of the gap. Now, again, now SPY, let's back it up here. I've been looking for the moving averages here. Now, all right, where is my study? There we go. All right, 50 SMA dash red line. Where are we going? SPY popped up right here over that 100 EMA in the green. Came back down, hit that 50, looped it, shied the 100, didn't want it, looped the 10, next fastest moving average. Next sequence, start. Goes down, again, 50 loop, multiple gaps, ride the 10 SMA, next fastest moving average, sequence start. The next one right here, right, because this is the reset, now we have a couple gap targets that are wide open, and we are still, per all my videos, once we get the crack confirmation, rate hike, and continuation, under the 50 SMA, as we've been calling for, we will get this 100 EMA for once, right? And if you notice, every time that the SPY here, SPY, is moved towards that 200 EMA, 200 SMA combo, we have shied that as well. So when we did break through the 100, got to the -1 deviation, that's that yellow dash line, comes up, misses the 100 EMA, grabs the 50, grabs the 10, and it goes up. So the next fastest moving average always grabbed that bull run. So when we snuck under the 100 here, came up, looped the 50, never hit the 100, came back up, hit the 50, looped the 10. So it ran away from the 100, then ran away from the 50, then ran away from the 10. The next fastest moving average sequence to the upside. Now, we got a pretty big upward 3 here that can take us down to that 100 EMA. Hopefully it's like we just get another big continuation day for Friday. Not sure if that's going to happen. We still have a chance to do over under at the 50, but we're obviously going to target the gaps. So long story short, even though I've covered a lot of this nonsense here, this right there is both gaps. This general range we've already tagged one time, and my rule of thumb is a lot of the time when we have a gap, price action's outside the gap. The first time price action gets into a gap, a lot of the times it goes the opposite way and does not fill. Well, we've already done that once. We already hit that gap. We already did the no fill. Now it's time, if we break into that gap, stay under the 50 SMA, we're going for the bottom. We're going for 100 EMA, plain and simple. So I'm going to stick to the bear side of things. We're going to fib this out two things are going to happen. We have a very, very, very rare chance to have a red December at the end here. No Santa rally. A lot of the time, very, very rare do we see that. Just want to put these fibs on, which can totally happen. Just because it's red doesn't mean it can't happen. But this is, again, the likelihood of what we're going to see. And notice now, we have the same exact setup on SPY. I think price action is going to fail through 586 eventually. Not sure if it's going to happen today, but once we bust into that gap, we do have a chance at the 1618. We do have a chance for the 100 EMA. Everything is dependent on staying under this golden pocket. This is where the short confirmation is. You're not just going to short a continuation without catalyst. You're going to see this right here be the catalyst for the over-under. So retrace into that 50, into that golden pocket, potential lower side. If it wants to go to the long side, we're going to open up, and it's got to be above that 50 SMA, and we will make a candle into the golden pocket. So really, all you got to do is worry about right here, 50 SMA, over, under. So if, again, price action picks back up, we start going, we're going to go to the golden pocket like we look for today, 595.15, and this zone will be tagged. If we do not, and we signal extreme weakness, we will stay under that golden pocket. We will lose the 50 SMA daily. We will break the 586.25 body of the Powell candle, and we'll end up right here at the 100 EMA. There's your over under, simple as pie. So I'm going to stick to the short side biased for hopefully tomorrow. That is it. If you want to trade live with us, catch some of these calls, get the learning of algorithms, get the learning of gaps, and learn what we teach. Link is in the description. If not, we'll see you on the next video. Take care.